Okay, white to play. What do you think you will play?
King c1.
King c1 or king c2? Does it make a difference?
King c2, I think.
I don't think it makes a difference.
Anyone else? Srushti?
I think king to c1 is better.
King to c1 is better. Who? Okay. And okay, Uday has also joined. Uday, this is a position white to play. Okay, we are checking what should be white's move, king to c1 or king to c2, or it doesn't matter, both of them are okay. Remember, it is not that black has got an extra knight. Okay, so it is not as easy as so Anup, what do you think? It is a draw or a loss for white, or what?
A loss for white.
You are saying it is a loss for white. Srushti?
Loss for white.
Sai Pranav? Everyone? Or you can put it in chat also. What do you think it is? Okay, so let us see this. I have put this on the analysis board. Okay, maybe the king initial position, it's okay. Now it turns out that there is a very big difference between king c1 and king c2. Okay, it's a difference between a loss and a draw. Now with this clue, let us see. What do you think? What do you think? What will draw and what will lose? Uday? Uday dropped out or what? Yeah, Uday. What about Ramnath or Sai Pranav?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what do you think? What will draw and what will lose? Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Wait, I'm calculating just.
Can you just give me a moment?
Okay.
I think king c1 is better.
King c1 is better, huh?
I think c2 is better.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll first see king c2. What happens? Okay. King c2.
So actually the knight was in g8, I think.
Doesn't matter where it is. Okay. So really,
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. Matlab here. Okay, I will put the knight here. Now.
King c1.
King c1. So.
Knight d4.
Knight to d4 now.
And it's a loss.
Now it's a loss.
So king c1 was better because that would stop the knight from.
Because now your king anyway cannot come here, and this square is also prevented. And the moment you move out, black gets to get out, then it is a win, right? Very simple. So let's go back. Let's go back. What if king c1?
King c1, then the knight cannot control c2.
So let us, but knight can come by some other way. Now, obviously king c2, right?
Yeah.
See, now what happens is king has to go back to c1, and if knight comes to b3 or d3 check, with a check knight comes, king goes here, and now knight has to move. Right? Knight has to move. The moment the knight moves, the king gets another square, go back to c1. Right? Doesn't matter where knight goes. Again, you get it. Right? So this is the trick. So key part, the way to visualize this is this. You want, see, because king has got only do these two squares. The knight will try to come to either b3, d3 somewhere, or d4, and try to prevent you from this thing. So if you are on c1 and the knight comes on d4, then or b4, then the game is lost because you cannot come to c2, and then you have to move out, and then the king comes, right? So before the knight comes to b4, where will it be? See, b4 or d4 is a dark square. So before the knight comes here, the knight will have to be on a light square. When the knight is on the light square, you should be on the light square. If you are on the dark square, then the knight from light square will land on this dark square and prevent you from coming to the light square, right? So you should be, so when the knight was here, you should have moved to the square of the knight. So that is actually the principle in this. Here, knight is on the dark square, so king moves to c1, okay? And it's a draw. Because now knight will move to light square, you will move to light square. Knight will move to dark square, you will move to dark square. Now knight will move to light square. It is not able to prevent you from coming to the light square. So you are able to come in, right? So that is the fundamental logic of this. Okay, so it doesn't matter where the knight is. Okay, you right now you were saying, right, the knight here. So instead of the knight being 5n2, I will put this. Oops. Uh, 6n1. So the knight is on. Hey, why it is not happening? Okay, I think I have to. I can't just edit it, huh?
Sir, even if the knight is on B1 or
Okay, here let me edit this.
even if the knight is on B1 or B2, it will still work.
Yeah, 6 9 n1. So knight is on. Let us look at it. The knight is on G8. Now it is on light square. So your king should be on light square. Now let the knight come. You will go to dark square. Knight is on dark square. You will go to dark. Knight comes here. You come here. Now, even if the knight checks it, you come here. Right? Knight goes up. Doesn't matter. You come on the light square. It goes here. You come on the dark square. Right? Doesn't matter. You just be on the square of the knight. When you are to move, you go into the square of the knight, and then you can maintain this blockade all the time. Okay.
Or even if the knight is on B1 or B2, it will still work.
If the knight is on B1, okay, let us try to put this knight on B1. So this will become 8 and K will become K N, and then this will become 6. Okay, so if the knight is on, yeah, here also you move to the light square. Now knight goes here, you go here. And remember, if you had gone to the dark square here, then it was a loss. Because the knight would have moved to h3, sorry, not h3, a3, and now you have to move out. The king comes out. Right? So very simple principle you remember. Only in case of a rook pawn, which is blockaded. Huh? So this particular position is when, all of this rule is when you are trying to blockade the black king from coming out, and then the knight is coming to the rescue. This is when it is. You have to remember. Okay? It's clear? Let us go to the next position. Now look at this position. See, the knight pawn is on h6. It is covering the g7 square, and the knight is on g5 covering the f7 and the h7 square. So this should be very easy. Now white to play. What should white do?
King F4.
Yeah, king f4 is also okay. remember never to push the pawn. Because if you push the pawn, what will happen?
Or then the king will just block the.
Yes, king will go to h8 and g7, and then you will not be able to drive him out. It will become a stalemate. Now, very nicely, the king is not able to come to the 7th rank. It is remaining on the 8th rank. So now you can bring in your king. Finally, if you bring in your king to g6, right, then it is a very simple win. Once your white king is on g6, you can come via f4, you can come via g4, doesn't matter. So king g4, okay, king h8. Same thing. If you had come to king f4, also same thing would have happened. And now, very simple. Knight f7 check, king g8. Now h7. Now king f8, and then queen. Right. So remember, whenever the king is in a disadvantage position like this, especially in endgame, don't try to move anything. Just try to get your king very near, because once your king comes very near, it becomes much easier to win versus if you just try to win. So you have to, and especially if the king is cut off, here the king is cut off from the pawn, right? Because of this knight. And then he cannot come via h7, he cannot come via g7, he cannot come via f7. The only way to come would have been via e7, then f6. But that is too slow, right? If you come via e7, then the pawn will push through, right? So, yeah. So this is that position. Okay. Let us look at this position. This is, I think, is easy for you. What is the outcome?
Draw.
It's a draw. What if it is black to play?
Draw.
Draw.
Yeah, it is a draw because the king has already reached the rook pawns queening square, which is not covered by the bishop. So no matter what you do, it is a draw. Yeah, I am having too much cough. All right, let's go to the next position. This position is very, very interesting. Okay, I will put this on the board. Bishop is on f6, pawn is on h5, king is on e8 and c4. It is white to play. White to play. What should see? Black to play, it is easy win, right? Rule of the square. Black to play wins easily because the king cannot enter the rule of the square. But it is white to play. So white plays what? Come on. There is only one way for white, right?
King d3.
King d3, correct. And now black h4. Now
King to e2.
e2.
e2, correct. King to e2, h3.
King to f1.
King to f1. Ah.
Bishop d4.
Bishop.
I mean bishop d5.
No, bishop
No.
d4 it is.
Bishop d4, I think.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Bishop d4.
Maybe.
And then you have
d2.
all the time to bring your king.
Correct. See, this square, this square, this square are are covered. So you have all the time to bring in your king and come to b6 also, and then around say you can queen your pawn, right? So this becomes a key blockading thing. So king to f1 loses.
King
King
to
F2.
King to F2 is correct. King to F2 is correct. Now what happens? King to E5. If king comes to bishop, not king comes, bishop to E5. If bishop D4, then it is a very simple trivial draw. King goes to G3 and then it's a draw because this pawn cannot be protected. Right? So bishop does not go to D4, bishop goes to, so now
king.
E1.
No,
King
king G1 and then king H1 and then it's
correct. King to G1
draw.
and now you have got access to the H1 score. Right? The moment you reach H1, it's a draw because the bishop is of opposite color. Right? So there are chances of going wrong. So you have to see here that here this blockade is possible. So that's why king to F1 is a blunder. Very interesting, right? I mean, these are all small niceties are there. It's all about preventing the king access to the this square, the G square, G1. Okay.
Wait, sir, in the previous position.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I was thinking the black king could come, but then the white king will reach H1.
Yeah, the moment white king reaches H1, then doesn't matter, right? Okay. Now in this position, what should white do? White to play.
King F3.
Yeah, king F3 because after that F3, then G2 and then H1. Don't get tempted by trying to kill the bishop. The moment if you kill the bishop, then black king gets through. So if you kill the bishop, then it's a loss because white king goes to G4. Then you come to F3, G6. Come to E2, that's it, right? So important is F3. Then king H4, G2. King H1, it's a draw. So always remember, defending side should, at all costs, it should try to reach the square, queening square of the pawn, which is not defended by the bishop, and not look at anything else. That is the only target that the defending king has. And the attacking side should all the time try to prevent it, because if it can prevent it, then the king can come, its own king can come and force the matters. Okay, in this position, again here actually king F2 and king F1, both of them draw. Okay, pawn is on H3, then you have to be careful. If pawn is on H3, then you have to play king to F2. Otherwise, if you play king to F1, if the pawn is on H3, then the bishop will come to guard that square, G1 square, and then you will not be able to.
What about king to F3?
King to F3 is a blunder. Why?
Oh, because of bishop.
See what is
Okay.
these two squares are cleared. So now what happens is
H3.
H3. Now you cannot go to king to G4 because the pawn will run down. So you have to come to F2, correct? You have to come to F2 only. G2 and G3 are blocked. So you have to come to F2. And now what happens? It is a very key winning move here.
Bishop H2.
Huh?
Bishop H2.
That is correct. That is the beautiful winning move. Bishop goes to H2. Now what happens is G3 and G1 are covered. G2 is also covered. So actually the king cannot approach the bishop and the pawn. And now, no matter what it does, now the black king has got enough time to come over. The white king never crosses this G5. He doesn't get into H1. So this is a very, very key winning move that you have to remember. Because most of the time it will be, see, if you have a bishop of the same color as the queening square, then it's a very easy win. So when it is of opposite color, that time you have to know this technique, because this is an absolutely brilliant blocking maneuver. Right now, the pawn and the bishop cannot be approached by the black king. Even if king goes to F3, then king will come to G5 and he will prevent coming from here. Now,
Sir, if okay,
let's see this one. Let's see this on the board. Let's see this. Bishop D6, pawn H4, king F6, and king E2. Right? If you have any this one. Old editor. What we said, king F3. If king F3, then H3 wins, we said. Because king F2, bishop H2, and now no matter what you do, these squares are all gone. Okay. You were saying something, Anup?
no, sir.
But here king to F2, it's okay, because now you are coming to G2. Even if you play H3 now, then you come to king to G1. Now there is no way. Now you are definitely coming to H1. Right? Okay. Everyone got this? All right, then let's move on to the next position.
Yes, sir.
Now
Is it white to play?
it is black to play.
H3 bishop bishop H2.
Yes, that is the whole idea. You have to, yes, you have time for that. H3 and bishop H2 is the idea. You have the time for this. So black to play plays H3. First move. If you play bishop H2 first, it doesn't help. Why? Because king to F3. Right? Now the king is coming to G5 and then attacking this. And if you bishop protects it, then king will go to H6. The moment you go, sorry, not H6, H3. And it will go to H1. And you cannot prevent it by playing H3 now, because the king is coming to G5 and attacking it immediately. And it is very important for white to come to F3, not F1. F1, it's a loss, because you will play H3. Then again, same, these three squares you cannot enter. So king has to play to F3 and then it's a draw. King F1 is a loss, right? But because of this, white first play, black first plays H3. And now black, even if he plays bishop, king F1 also, then also bishop to C5.
Bishop H2 would still work, right?
Bishop H2 will also work, but bishop C5 is even simpler. Then you are not even blocking your pawn, right? Because now you are not even blocking your pawn. See, now These three squares are cut off. The moment anywhere king moves, your pawn runs through. Right? Versus if you play bishop h2, then you will have to play a longer game. You will have to bring your king. You are simply blocking your flow. Here that is not required. If king f3, then king f5. Again, preventing g4. G3 is already prevented. G2 is prevented. Right? So king goes to f2. King goes to f2. Now bishop goes to h2. So now if king f3, now see this win. Slowly white is pushed back. Take the opposition. Let the white king move away. You again move. Now white king has to give way. Now you come to g7. Sorry, g2. Once you come to g2, it is a very clear win. Got it? So that the bishop, if the white king is far away, then he can be locked out from coming near the thing. That is the whole idea of the rook pawn with a bishop. Ramnath, Sai Pranav, clear? Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very key idea, very, very key idea. Very important. Okay, let's go to the next one. What is this?
This is easy, right?
This is easy, right? King 2. Okay, let us see this still. Doesn't matter. Here. Black to play. Black to play. Black will obviously play king to h1. Then white cannot play king to f6. Sorry, no, it is c6. King to a1, a8 it is. Black king has gone to a8. White king cannot play c6 because it will be a stalemate. And if you play here, you play here, you play here, I play here, you cannot come to c6 or a6, right? So what if this bishop is provided? What will you do? Will you take it or will you not take it?
Take it.
Yeah, take it.
Take it.
Now, now what?
King to a8.
Into a8.
King to a8, and now b7, king to b8, and this is a draw, right? So what if you do not take it? If you come here, then then it's a loss for black, because this bishop goes on this side, c7, and now you can no longer prevent. Now it's a loss, no matter what you play. You get the idea? This is not a rook pawn. This is the knight pawn. Only the position of the bishop on the rook side was a very disadvantaged position. Now the bishop has come to the other side, open side, right? Now this is a loss. No matter what you play. Just play and check. If you play king to f1, then I'm not going to come to, sorry, not king to c8, then I'm not going to come to king c6 and giving you a stalemate. I will come to a6. And now drive you away. Now you have to go away. And it is very simple now. Right? And if you come to f1, sorry, a8, then what do I do? King to c6 will be a stalemate. King to a6 will also be a stalemate. So what do I do? Simple. Bishop to d8. Losing a move. This is called as losing a move. Because I have my bishop, I can lose a move. Knight cannot lose a move. Bishop can easily move. Now you come up again here. Okay. Now I come here. No, I don't come here. Where do I come? I come here. Now, what do you do now? If you come to a8, I come to a6. If you come to b8, then I go here. Now you cannot. You have to go to c8. If you come here, then it's a checkmate. You got the difference? I hope you got the difference here. Because the bishop moved here, right? Now it allowed the bishop to make a wasteful move and get the opposition. That's the whole point. Now, no matter what you do, I do this, or if you do king to a8, then I lose a move by the bishop, and then not this. I still put king to this way. I am able to get the opposition now. Okay. All right. So what we will do is we will join back. We have, I think, one more position to look at, and then we will look at our regular two positions. So
how are you?
I'm fine. I'm just little bit of a cough, cold and fever, little bit.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So let us join back in 3 minutes, okay, and then finish it. So I've stopped sharing and now, stop recording.